One of the leaders of Belarus's opposition movement has been released from jail following almost 5 years behind bars. Siarhei Tsikhanouski was met by his wife, Sviatlana, on his release from jail. A total of 14 Belarusian political prisoners have been released. The surprise move came hours after the leader of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, met Donald Trump's special envoy, Keith Kellogg, in Minsk. And for more, let's now speak to DW's Yuri Resheto, who is in the Latvian capital, Riga. He used to head up our Moscow bureau before DW was banned from reporting from there. So, Yuri, good to have you on the program. Do tell us a bit more about Tsikhanouski and why he was arrested in the first place.
Well, Siarhei Tsikhanouski became famous in Belarus in 2019, Monica, when he started to run the YouTube blog Country for Life, in which he criticized the Belarusian authorities. Then, a year later, 2020, he declared his plans to run for president of Belarus, but he was denied to be registered. Instead of him, his wife, Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, became a presidential candidate, while he was detained, accused of organizing mass riots, and sentenced finally to 18 years in prison. His wife, Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, in August 2020, took part in the presidential election. According to the Belarusian officials, she came second with 10% of the vote, behind Alexander Lukashenko, who won allegedly 80% of the vote. However, Tsikhanouskaya didn't recognize this result, and a few days later, after the election, she left Belarus for Lithuania under pressure from Belarusian authorities.
So, why has he been released now?
Well, look, Belarusian ruler Alexander Lukashenko pardoned several prisoners today during the visit of US Special Envoy Kellogg. You mentioned it. This was part of an agreement brokered by the USA. The aim is to reduce allegedly tensions with the West. Lukashenko has been known for almost 30 years as a president who sometimes flirts with Russia, sometimes with the West. Since the outbreak of the Russian-Ukrainian war, however, 3 years ago, any cooperation with the West was cancelled, because Belarus is accused not only of suppressing freedom of expression, but also of military cooperation with Russia. Lukashenko is a key ally of Russian President Putin. Now, Kellogg, the US Special Envoy for Russia's war in Ukraine, has reportedly said that his trip to Minsk today could help kickstart peace talks between Russia and Ukraine.
Okay, so very briefly, because there are more than 1,000 political prisoners still in Belarus, what does this mean for them?
Well, let's say hope is the last to die. Since last year, Lukashenko has regularly pardoned a small number of imprisoned government critics, explaining that this was a gesture towards those who had gone astray. But, Monica, given how many people are still behind bars in Belarus, there is little hope that things would be changing dramatically.
All right, DW's Yuri Resheto there. Thank you so very much.